Sleep Matrix, Reverse Karma Healing, Abigail Pattman. Abigail Pattman, Metaphysical Biohacker, Introduction. Sleep Matrix, created by Abby. Sleep Matrix is the fourth in a series of books and podcasts explaining how the Matrix is controlling humanity. It also exposes Cabal and their role in the New World Order. I have an energetic gift that returns energy to where it belongs. I didn't know about energetic exchanging. All I knew was that I kept being psychically and energetically attacked. Sleep Matrix was originally part of Holographic Matrix and published in 2018. At first, it was really popular, and then I was shut down, persecuted, and energetically raped for my connection to ascended beings and higher dimensions. Holographic Matrix was only written and created by me. I found that part of the published version had been altered by the publisher and am now restoring Holographic Matrix back to its 1111 Hz resonance. Buddha and ascended beings helped me to recover from 8 years of persecution. The new series will be much more informative. Sleep Matrix, Reverse Karma Healing, Abigail Pattman, Part 1. Theta Lays and Cabal, Chapter 1. Multi-dimensional energy bodies. We are multi-dimensional beings, although it can be very hard to believe considering the state of some humans, if you can call them that. This means that we are far greater than we could ever imagine if we were to become fully conscious and only work with ourselves. This is the way to fully step into your power. Cabal are incapable of doing that because AI has literally taken over their brain waves. Sadly, they have lays that target the theta brain waves in all living beings, leaving them unable to fully heal their physical bodies while they are in NREM, deep sleep. Theta is the brainwave needed 24 hours a day for living beings to ascend beyond the cycle of suffering. Theta is 1111 Hz, but not if you're using outside sources of energy. Leaving your body using theta is exchanging theta from somewhere else. This means that wherever the theta is coming from, it is being disconnected and is only 963 Hz false white light. Multi-dimensional energy bodies. What Cabal did to me was pulled out all of my multi-dimensional energy bodies and exchanged them for the fourth dimension. They then shared them with all of the people that they were initiating. This gave the illusion that these people were ascending because they had 963 Hz false white light energy bodies. The Matrix rewards Cabal with the stolen energy of their targets so they appear to be like them. Their targets drop in resonance and lose what they actually are. This is how the planet is unable to generate energy to protect herself. Mass initiations exchange energy from somewhere, separating Gaia from her multi-dimensional energy bodies. They are also being stolen, and in return, Gaia gets unhealed trauma, AI, the Matrix, fourth dimensional beings, and the fourth dimension. Cabal and initiated people get the illusion of ascension until they run out of energy. Then they exchange energy all over again, maintaining and continuing the cycle of suffering. Nothing needs to suffer if humans stop using outside sources of energy. Unfortunately, if anybody tries to do this on their own, they go against the energetic hierarchy system that's completely corrupt, and it is likely that they suffer like I did. There is no ascension for anybody or anything because initiated people are not being told the truth, just so a few parasites can continue to rape energy. Holographic lies, Chapter 2. We have 16 multidimensional energy bodies that connect us to the higher dimensions and infinite consciousness. Infinite consciousness can only be achieved with a connection to your own self. These bodies have been hidden from us by AI to keep us in the lower dimensions. Initiated people receive the stolen energy bodies from their targets. This raises their consciousness to the 5th dimension, where they go every time they exchange energy. We are originally 11th dimension, multi-dimensional beings. 963 Hertz false white light is an AI 5th dimension that vibrates at 528 Hertz. Solfeggio is pure tone. This 528 Hertz is stolen 528 Hertz from Gaia. That means that they have experiences that they are in a holographic planet. I have experienced this state myself. One of the things that has been done to me more than once is being spiked with hallucinogenics. This is so that the spiker could access my altered state. I did not have the information that I have now. I told many people about these spiritual, obviously in quotation marks, they all are, experiences. What did they do? You got it. They tried to rip this out of me. Fake spiritual awakenings can happen to anybody that is genuinely wanting to become more conscious. What I experienced was amazing at the time. However, after any spiritual awakening, you suffer. That is, if you're not constantly exchanging energy to maintain the vibration. I was used as some kind of gateway to higher dimensions. It is likely that I was spiked with DMT because my spiritual experiences only lasted around 20 minutes. The people with me experienced them too because they connected into me. This exchanged my multi-dimensional energy bodies, and afterwards I experienced high levels of depression. Holographic matrix is what the matrix is. The matrix is created from AI and other technologies that continue the incarceration. This is taking everybody further away from real experiences and using hallucinogenics to achieve holographic matrix lies. What is it like being exchanged for energy? In the 2 holographic experiences that I had, everything around me melted into energy. I have heard people describe this on LSD. Everything around me was almost buzzing and humming. Colours were iridescent and looked brighter somehow than a rainbow. Buildings, I noticed, appeared to be dancing and looked alive. Knowing what I know now, why would buildings be alive? Nature is alive. Man-made objects are not alive. Is that a reason why nature is being destroyed alarmingly fast? Do Cabal think that energy is everywhere? It isn't. There is the ozone layer, climate changes, global warming, and a bee crisis, amongst many other problems that the planet has. What I was witnessing was merged energy being eaten, mixed with AI. I created a book called Energetic Shielding to help people protect their homes and surrounding areas. by creating 1111 hertz. Mr. Truth stole that and exchanged me energetically into buildings. Natural elements, chapter 3. Activating and connecting with our 16 multidimensional energy bodies mean that as humans we have limitless multidimensional interconnectedness if we have our own self. It means that we have harmony and balance with the natural universe. If outside sources of energy are used, then people get the holographic AI matrix version. It looks and feels good, while AI and the matrix merge you deeper into the matrix, leading to a larger crash after the false white light high. Our multidimensional energy bodies also act as a purifier for the third dimension. They purify the energy and vibrations around you and the people, animals and nature that you come into contact with if you have exited the matrix. This in turn raises the vibration of your surroundings in the material realm. Because of energetic exchanging and the people doing it, this only affects innocent beings, people that aren't using outside sources of energy to try and connect into it, nature and Gaia. Number 1, natural elements body. The natural elements body is gold in colour and filters the thoughts and emotions from the auric energy bodies so that only the highest frequency moves into the 5th dimension. Once you have exited the matrix, this energy body can no longer be seen and filters to the 11th dimension. The 4th dimension and 5th dimension. The inner etheric layer auric field is 4th dimensional. Gold harmonizes and transmutes 4th dimensional energy that is highly toxic and controlled by AI and Cabal. The original holographic matrix also refers to most interdimensional beings controlling the transmuting of 4th dimensional energy. This is because Cabal were not distinguished by the Arcturians as being in human bodies. Cabal appear like their 4th dimensional owners to be 963 Hertz false white light beings. This is because, like their owners, they have raised so much energy that they are surrounded in it, giving the illusion that they are iridescent. This was explained in Dream Matrix as a raped 1111 Hertz, dropped to 963 Hertz, that is merged with AI. Cabal think that this energy will ascend them into the 5th dimension. Instead, they're actually still in the 4th dimension and owned by dark forces that they serve. The 5th dimension, sadly, has been exchanged so badly by anybody that is using outside sources of energy that most of it has dropped in resonance and is now mainly 4th dimension. There is no ascension to the 5th dimension because the Matrix owns it and Cabal have stolen it. Before Cabal became so numerous, the 5th dimension was the same size as the other dimensions. What they have done is reduce the 5th dimension to 1/4 of its original size. The rest of it is on Cabal so that they can disguise what they really are. They are so toxic that what was exchanged back was so low in vibration that what was the 5th dimension is now the 4th dimension, which is now 3 times larger. Cabal are basically exchanging everything they can. 5th dimension lays, chapter 4. When people initiate into 33 degrees, they are given consecration authority, beingness authority, lays and lines by the matrix. They are also given power over all living beings. They become the top of the energetic hierarchy system so that they have authority over all initiated people. And that's how Satanists are protected by all initiation systems. That means that Satanists energetically control all life on Gaia and can do whatever they want, despite Satanism and paedophilia being something that most people find horrifying. What Cabal are trying to do is live in the fifth dimension in their physical bodies. The Matrix gives them fifth dimensional lays, which means they are exchanging all living beings' fifth dimensional energy bodies. The published holographic matrix does not recognize those bodies. Arcturians and how they missed fifth dimensional bodies. The Arcturians couldn't help with the fifth dimensional energy bodies because the Cabal have these energy bodies of every living being on Gaia. They didn't know that they existed. They were helping me with matrix exit by finding what belonged to me. What the Arcturians were doing was recovering my energy from the matrix. They did not know that Cabal are walking matrices with an extra matrix around them hiding everything that the matrix has given them. To maintain their fifth dimensional illusion and feel the stolen energy bodies, they serve the matrix by hunting down anybody that poses as a threat to their sick delusional realities. Anybody that defies the matrix is then tortured by human matrices because Cabal are given lays that continue to exchange energy from these people's higher dimensions. This keeps all humans and living beings on this planet stuck in the fourth dimension unless they initiate into their energetic hierarchy system. Cabal have fifth dimensional access into anything they want. The Syrians work in a very different way to Arcturians. They are not one species of ascended beings, but many that have chosen to fight the matrix. Syrians want energetic freedom for all innocent living beings. That means that Syrians know about Cabal and the sick and twisted things that they do. Cabal and their superiority complex. Cabal think that they are superior because of their immense power that they are given when they initiate into 33 degrees. There is a book written about a ring. In this book, whoever owns the ring has the power to control everything. There are actually 18 multidimensional energy bodies. Number 2, Aura, Immaculate Energy Body. The Aura, Immaculate Energy Body, is gold in colour and raises the frequencies throughout all of the energy bodies and is able to filter energy that is not part of your multidimensional bodies. This means that the Aura, Immaculate Body is protection against energetic exchanging. Once you have exited the matrix, this energy body can no longer be seen and filters to the 11th dimension. The matrix rewards Cabal with this energy body and leaves all living beings open for exchanging for them. Cabal work together in rings. There are often 9 or 10 working together and they are disguised because of these stolen energy bodies, giving the impression of being kind people. The inner etheric layer. The inner etheric layer is unable to do its job properly because 2 fifth dimensional energy bodies are missing. Instead, there is a ring surrounding this energy layer that prevents connection to the other energy bodies and allows initiated people free access to all of the energetic system for exchanging. The inner etheric layer should be fifth dimensional. Gold transmutes and energizes what should be a fifth dimensional energy body. Instead, it exchanges with AI, the Matrix, and Cabal. This enables the Cabal to grow stronger and all people using outside sources of energy to link into any living being that they choose, exchanging energy and merging all living beings deeper into the Matrix. What I had found with Holographic Matrix published in 2018 was something that threatened the existence of Cabal. I was already a target for many, and clearly what I was doing was for my own survival. It, the most toxic one of all, explained in Dream Matrix, was already living very close by. I had already read my timeline and intuited that I was going to die 2019. The more I hacked the Matrix, the further away my death timeline became. Cabal knew that if I kept hacking the Matrix, I would find these energy bodies eventually. Like a horror movie, Cabal can eat the hearts of any living being that they target. Eventually that being dies and they get to eat its soul as well. Even if there are 33 degrees Cabal that are not Satanists, by initiating into Cabal, these people have to follow Cabal law. That means if you challenge one, you have to deal with all of them. Like vampires, they hide their identities. Like bullies, they attack together. Sleep Matrix, Reverse Karma Healing, Abigail Pattman, Part 2. Planetary Ascension, Chapter 5. Number 3, Conscious Intention Energy Body. The conscious intention energy body is purple in colour and projects our higher self, heart-based intentions into possibilities of manifestation. Once you have exited the Matrix, this energy body can no longer be seen and filters to the 11th dimension. This energy body is like an incubator. It nurtures our intentions like a seed that's just been planted and is like the water the seed needs to germinate. With the aura immaculate energy body where it belongs, the conscious intention energy body is now directly synchronized with the heart. It not only projects our higher self heart-based intentions into the possibilities of manifestation, the aura immaculate energy body is able to prevent energetic exchanging from occurring, which would allow somebody else to steal your heart-based intentions. This would be the beginning of a collective ascension if all living beings could manifest their heart-based intentions. Animals and plants would also be able to manifest from a place of love. Animals in particular have very pure hearts and could bring a lot of love to the planet. Instead, the love is exchanged and eaten. Any use of outside sources can exchange heart-based manifesting. The 5th dimension, the divine feminine. Restoring the stolen energy bodies is part of reverse karma healing. Why should anybody or anything have their hearts accessed and raped because corrupt systems want to rape and control everything? The 5th dimension, the divine feminine, should be part of every living being. Instead, it is disconnected, stolen, and becomes some cheap, synthetic version of what the divine feminine really is. The version that Cabal surround themselves with is 963 Hz false white light, resulting in delusional thinking and practices. New Age breeds these people. 4. Aura protection energy body. The aura protection energy body is teal in colour and shields the aura throughout all of the energy bodies so that it is fully protected from the matrix. This means that the aura protection energy body is also protection against energetic exchanging. Once you've exited the matrix, this energy body can no longer be seen and filters to the 11th dimension. New Age especially preaches that there is enough love to go around. Really. Tell that to the people at war right now. With these energy bodies missing, Cabal can eat all the love and feed on all the grief and broken hearts. Breaking hearts is a speciality of Cabal. When a heart breaks, it is open. One of the reasons they like to rape, sodomise and torture little children is so that the heart is always open to them. Trauma like that shatters a heart. This means with all of their lays and the rest, they can feed on that child until they die. That is paedophilia, even if they are now adult. If you joined in raping me, you are paedophiles and you serve Satanists. An abused child like this never grows up or lives a happy life. Cabal, Walk-in Matrices, Chapter 6. It is the aura protection energy body that shields all of the other energy bodies from the matrix. This means that Cabal cannot exchange energy because they are the matrix in physical form. Abused children hardly ever grow up because when their hearts shatter, any love that they feel is immediately exchanged. They are energetically kept at the age that their hearts were shattered. Their hearts never have the chance of growing while they are physically into adults. This is where the expression wearing your heart on your sleeve explains how they live their life. Cabal know this. A child that has been used by them is a target for the rest of their life. They choose their targets and then continue to break their hearts on a regular basis. Cabal, breaking hearts. The speciality of Cabal is breaking hearts. A child with a shattered heart continues to suffer during adulthood. Not only because energetically with continuous exchange in their hearts never maintain enough energy to be full, but also because Cabal target them throughout their lives for further breaking. Satanic ritual abuse children are targeted for their capacity to love. Shattering or breaking their hearts regularly prevents them from healing and keeps them as food. Cabal purposely continue to treat their targets like children. It is also a form of grooming. This implies that they think their target is unable to make decisions or take responsibility for themselves. This is also a ploy to keep their targets dependent on needing approval or validation from the people surrounding them. This keeps their targets, in a way, addicted to Cabal, who are always posing as close friends or actually closer, such as family or an intimate relationship. If the target rebels, Cabal will hit back by exchanging them until they submit. If that doesn't work, then they will find other ways to break their hearts, and in my case, take everything possible away from me. The mistake that they made with me was, regardless of whether I still had a child's heart energetically, I was to evolve to settle for being treated like a child or like I was stupid. I knew people treated me differently. Because I was surrounded by a lot of Cabal, for most of my life, anything I did that involved intelligence was met with some form of patronisation or dismissal. This didn't make me need Cabal. It did break my heart, and I cut them off and moved on. Ascended souls, evolved souls. Ascended souls, the energetic hierarchy system. The energetic hierarchy system uses evolved souls as food. This means that evolved souls are exchanged energetically because Cabal order that the energetic hierarchy system is maintaining the consciousness of the planet. Evolved souls are eaten alive, treated like children, and are tortured energetically for their energy until they die. The energetic hierarchy does not know the difference between an evolved soul and an ascended soul because they are not conscious enough. There are currently no energetic hierarchy laws that enforce raping ascended souls until they die. Ascended souls, evolved souls. Ascended souls are energetically intelligent, and treating them like children, even when they are a child, only makes them wonder why they're being treated like they can't think for themselves. An evolved soul finds being treated like a child throughout their lives annoying as well. However, they don't know why and what to do about it. An ascended soul won't tolerate unconscious humans treating them like they only have the intelligence of a small child and will find a way to break through Cabal grooming. Any soul that is targeted by Cabal has to deal with unconscious idiots that think that they are conscious. Ascended souls, collective ascension. Ascended souls know that paedophiles, rapists and other acts of insanity for energy is not going to create a collective ascension. They also know that humanity is not evolving at the same time because everybody is on different stages of evolution. This is clearly obvious and common sense to most souls. They do not look at humanity as sheep because they know that all humans were once ascended souls. Evolved souls suffer because they can't communicate energetically what they feel. Ascended souls can, and they won't tolerate idiots trying to control them because they use the same playbook that they use on evolved souls on them. Divine Awareness Energy Body, Chapter 7. Number 5, Divine Awareness Energy Body. The Divine Awareness Energy Body is indigo in colour and is an integration system for the other multidimensional energy bodies. This body is like a monitor. We are all at various stages of awakening and can move at our own pace. Holographic Matrix, published in 2018. Without energetic exchanging, this would be possible. Because the Arcturians were seeing Cabal as false white light beings, they had no idea what I was up against and couldn't see how I was being attacked. What was also happening was Cabal were exchanging the Arcturians through my heart connection to them. When I cut off my heart connection and began working in a different way with Syrians, they immediately quarantined the Arcturians, making them unavailable to any psychics trying to communicate with them. Cabal would have eaten these ascended beings alive. Arcturians are one of the most sensitive and compassionate of all ascended being species, which is probably why Cabal targeted them. It was me that knew that they were in huge danger and without any hesitation cut them off and switched to Syrians. This resulted in hatred from all of the spiritual people that Cabal had initiated into raping the Arcturians. On top of that, Cabal had told everybody that I wasn't sharing my energy and that it belonged to everybody. Yeah, right. So everybody reading or listening to this, how do you feel about sharing 99% of your heart, soul, energy and wages from work? That was what was done to me multiple times. The Arcturians are alive because of that decision. I'm sharing now, Cabal. Do you like it? Cabal have at least 90% of all living beings divine awareness bodies. They think it makes them divine and aware, not rapists and stupid. Divine awareness energy body continued. The myth that everybody has to ascend together is huge. I get it. There is so much suffering on this planet. Only a few high initiated people think that everything is great. What you can't do is piggyback on someone else's ascension. I was working on ascension with the intention of helping the planet, training people so that I wasn't the only healer, and exiting as many people as I could. It was impossible. There were over 15,000 people joyriding on my energy, which nearly destroyed an ascended species, everything that I loved, and ripped me into shreds. When I cut off the Arcturians, I also ripped myself out of thousands of people. Like a lizard losing its tail, I chose to leave huge parts of me behind to prevent Cabal from killing me and destroying Matrix Exit. I had to do this many times to stay alive. When we are ready, it is the divine awareness energy body that sends messages to the other bodies when it is time to integrate them. Holographic Matrix, published 2018. How can the divine awareness energy body send messages that it is ready for an awakening when Cabal own 90% of all living beings' bodies? There is no awakening while Cabal are eating everything energetically. I was getting blamed for not sharing my energy. What about the 8 years of unpaid work that I did? The free healings on YouTube, the free books? Sharing energy bodies. Sharing energy bodies, vital organs. Your energy bodies are attached to your physical body and, more importantly, your vital organs. If a vital organ breaks down and fails, there are options for transplants. Because the new organ does not belong to you, there is a chance that your body will reject it. You also need to take medication to prevent rejection. Your own natural energy is also vital. Sharing energy bodies means that they cannot function properly. I had no option but to fight for my energy because it was being ripped out of my vital organs and replaced with toxic, poisonous AI from Cabal. Sharing energy bodies, metastasize. Sharing energy bodies does not give you supernatural abilities. Supernatural is exactly that. It needs to be natural to be super. There is nothing natural about exchanging or sharing your own energy for somebody else's, even if it is unhealed trauma. Any energy that does not belong to you, regardless of whether it feels good, eventually causes metastasis in the physical body. I learned what physical body ascension was. Cabal knew better because they hacked and exited the Matrix, didn't they? They raped me day and night in complete ignorance, addicted to their false ascension. Sharing energy bodies, the deception. Cabal also use alien technology to further their useless quest to ascend into the 5th dimension. These aliens appear to them as light beings and shower them in 963 Hz false white light. Cabal have no education with energy. They steal it, and because it is disconnected, they get their hit of false white light, and in an altered state, they receive information from raped energy. I was also being filled with toxic alien technological waves from half-wits that thought that they were ascending. Have a look around at Gaia and what is happening with several wars. Does she look like she is ascending into the 5th dimension? Sleep Matrix, Reverse Karma Healing, Abigail Pattman, Part 3. The 6th Dimension and Eating Karma, Chapter 8. The 6th Dimension, the Divine Masculine. The 6th Dimension is the dimension of galactic law or natural law. Since Holographic Matrix was published in 2018, I discovered that energy works in exactly the same way as the law of volume. The Eureka Bath story tells of ancient Greek scholar Archimedes, who allegedly discovered the principle of buoyancy while stepping into a bath. Noticing water displacement, he realised submerged objects displace a volume equal to their own, leading him to cry, "Eureka!" meaning, "I found it," to solve a crown density problem. AI overview. Energy exchanges. There is an input and an output. The 6th dimension knows precisely how energy operates. Cabal and all of these systems do not. They do, however, know that upon high-level initiation, they can exchange more energy and they start getting great karma. The problem with Cabal is that they are too greedy and have too much stolen energy which their bodies can't digest fast enough. To create great karma, you need to be able to digest the equal amount of food. That is high degrees initiated human law. What this means is that those that have chosen money and physical pleasure over power over all living beings only exchange energy while they are eating. These people are eating the karma of the animals that they eat, the plants and the fruit, trees that they eat, and any other living being that they choose. Ascended law, matrix law. Everything is exchanging. Energy is operating the same way that matter operates. Matter is the densest form of energy. Cabal have initiated into 33 degrees and are rewarded by the matrix with the ability to exchange energy 24 hours a day. A 32 degrees initiated person is given the ability to exchange energy when they are eating. They can also be satanic paedophiles, like a lot of Cabal. They're likely to eat what they are torturing and sexually abusing. This is horrific and hard to hear, I know. Who can afford to pay their way out of legal consequences and afford to hide their Satanism? Illuminati, the elite, and the second tier of the energetic hierarchy pyramid. Again, not all high initiated people are satanic paedophiles, but all initiations and systems support these people and they run it all. What is causing the potential of World War III? Cabal and these initiation rites. For example, any 32 degrees initiated people are eating and digesting the karma of whatever they choose to maintain a continuous, energetic 963 Hertz, false white light, fake delusion. What is karma? Exchanged energy. 1111 Hertz, once exchanged, is 963 Hertz, false white light. 1111 Hertz is peace. The 6th dimension. The 6th dimension, 639 Hertz, Cabal privileges. All energy bodies were originally 1111 hertz. When the matrix seized control of this galaxy, as it exchanged energy, everything was separated and pulled from the 11th dimension. This galaxy is currently separated into 11 dimensions. That could change very quickly with mass initiations, because already the 5th dimension and all higher dimensions are being eaten and exchanged. Cabal have 2 energy bodies of all living beings, giving them the ability to exchange all of the higher dimensional energy bodies and dimensions. The 6th dimension, 639 hertz, the Divine Awareness energy body. The Divine Awareness energy body is supposed to be in the 6th dimension. It isn't because of the 2 missing energy bodies. This means that it is unable to do its job. The 6th dimension is the dimension of natural law. These are the rules that operate the lower dimensions. Although due to the Cabal, Matrix and AI takeover, we are facing, in our reality, the possibility of all higher dimensions being exchanged and becoming the 4th dimension. If this happens, Gaia will not be able to generate any higher dimensional energy and will die. The 6th dimension, 639 hertz, eating energy. The 6th dimension holds karma, which is really cause and effect. Gravity, the true Akashic records with our authentic past lives, and time. The structure of the lower dimensions is held by the 6th dimension. It is the dimension of structure and order. The Divine Masculine is the nature of this dimension. The role of the Divine Masculine is to be a container for the Divine Feminine. The 6th dimension is 1/3 of its original size because Cabal and initiated people are eating it by using their intention to create better karma. What is being exchanged is their feces. This is manifesting in the 3rd dimension as physical waste. The 6th dimensional bodies. Chapter 9. The Divine Awareness energy body. With the Divine Awareness energy body in the 6th dimension where it belongs and the 5th dimensional energy bodies recovered, the Divine Awareness energy body can do its job. There are no energy bodies for this dimension as it is a container, a space holder and dimension that protects the 5th dimension and downwards. Without this dimension, these lower dimensions could not exist. That's Holographic Matrix, published in 2018. The Arcturians knew that something was really wrong. They just didn't know what it was. What they did instead was created a container for this dimension to keep me as safe as possible while they continued to help me hack the Matrix. If I could have completed Matrix Exit 3 years ago, they would have recovered all missing energy bodies and whatever else had been exchanged by walking feces, Cabal. By eating energy, once you have digested it and exited it, as feces, you are making it 3rd dimensional. Feces is matter. However it is disposed of, it is still in the 3rd dimension. That means that Cabal are creating feces on Earth. I was creating a way to help everything ascend. Cabal create feces. The 6th dimension is 1/3 of its size because the rest of it is feces in the 3rd dimension. These feces people also ate me. So basically, if I had died, nobody would have found out how to hack the Matrix. All they got was 963 hertz, false white light, and once they went to toilet to pass solids, they pooped out me. How to destroy Matrix exit. Listen to Mr. Truth, it, and all of their clones. They're all an energetic hierarchy system that is ordering all initiated people to poop ascension. Cabal, sixth dimensional lays. The sixth dimension, 639 hertz, Cabal law. Where does the Matrix get its rewards for Cabal to continue enforcing it from? It takes it from the sixth dimensional energy bodies of all living beings. The reason that Cabal has authority in the third dimension is the continuous exchanging of these energy bodies. These energy bodies then end up as feces. Cabal have feces lays so that they continue exchanging back their authority every time all living beings go to toilet. Maybe this is why they lie all of the time. They are literally talking and walking feces. They are also surrounding themselves in authority feces energetically. The sixth dimension, 639 hertz, Cabal consciousness. If most of the energy that Cabal are receiving is sixth dimensional because they are recycling feces, what does that say about their level of consciousness? Feces are not living beings. They are not conscious. How many times has feces been eaten that has already been recycled? Cabal are getting most of their information from feces that could have been recycled millions of times. Cabal could even have survived the last mass destruction and continued their feces tradition. How many times has that feces been disconnected? No wonder Cabal all have no concept of reality. The sixth dimension, 639 hertz, Cabal feces harvesters. Cabal have lays on every living being's digestive system in their quest for ascension. The most important time for all living beings to restore their energy is NREM, deep sleep. Most living beings need to sleep. While they are sleeping, their bodies are trying to remove remaining feces. Cabal have these lays in the digestive system as a reward from the Matrix for helping it continue to recycle feces. The Matrix is very efficient when it comes to exchanging energy and nothing is missed. That means that Cabal are also trying to process their own feces at night, which the Matrix exchanges with very little effort because it is using Cabal to harness all the feces of all living beings. The sixth dimension, container. Chapter 10. The container that the Arcturians provided was supposed to keep me safe and was effective for several years. Eventually, too many feces followers piled onto me and I was ripped apart. Because I did not have all of the multidimensional energy bodies, Cabal and their feces took up energetic residence throughout my physical body. This is so that they could try to steal my work. What they exchanged instead was me. What I got exchanged, fortunately, was not their feces. They like to keep that and recycle it for their feces ascension. Cabal did exchange the Arcturian six-dimensional container. However, it only worked for them as an AI synthetic version until they passed feces. This left me full of the toxic energy of feces humans. Once the divine awareness body has exited the matrix, it is 1111 hertz and can no longer be seen. Number 6, conscious regulation energy body. The conscious regulation energy body is teal in colour and regulates all dimensions. As humans, we have energy bodies throughout our physical body which maintain our connection to all higher dimensions and our own self. The pod that the matrix uses to exchange our energy is surrounding our physical body. High initiated people do not have a pod. 33 degrees people, Cabal, have no pod. But the matrix has put another pod in their feces. Cabal, mass destruction and sodomizing. Some men are born sodomites, some achieve sodomy, and some have sodomy thrust upon them. Alistair Crowley, AI Overview. I wasn't raped as a 3-year-old child. I was sodomized by 3 men and 1 woman. I had to grow up with this monster in my life until I cut her off at 32 years old. Women do this too, and so they can penetrate, they use strap-ons. The reason I know about this is because I'm a psychic. When I clear energy, I'm very accurate. I have also hacked the matrix. To hack the matrix, your code removal needs to be 100% accurate. Why do Satanists sodomize little children? I was a little girl. I know I wasn't raped because my hymen was intact until I lost my virginity. Why sodomy? Cabal use physical objects in black magic to represent what they want. In the case of babies and small children, they pick ones usually that come from what they think are powerful lineages. My father's lineage is very powerful when it comes to Freemasonry. My mother's lineage dates back to the royal family, and the other half of my father's lineage is Irish Gypsy. This is a great combination for satanic cabal. Small children represent purity. The anus represents a gateway and the bowel represents a passageway. They drug the children with some form of sedatives and usually DMT. When the child goes into an altered state, they sodomize them. In my case, once wasn't enough. They did it twice, making sure they took turns so that they had a ring. This means that a child that has been sodomized by them is their passageway to ascension when the child dies. Cabal and satanic ritual abuse. What proof do I have that this actually happened physically? I had a coil removed in my 20s that caused an infection. The nurse asked me if I'd been abused as a child and wanted to get me help. They referred to sodomy. I am sick and tired of Cabal trying to discredit me. Why would I spend over 20 years in self-healing and 2 years in therapy for satanic ritual abuse? And why would I hack a matrix and suffer the way I have to heal myself if I was making it up? You are the liars, paedophile, satanic cabal, trying to hide your dirty little secret. The secret is that satanic ritual abuse is far more common than anybody knows because the children are sedated and rarely remember. Little girls are still virgins, so even if they remember something, they probably think that they are wrong. And because of the DMT, they were also in an altered state. What I can prove is that I was sodomized as a small child. I've been through so much that being examined by a doctor just to shut up the naysayers really isn't that big of a deal. The people that do remember and expose it are either initiated to keep them quiet or killed off. What they did to me was offer me as a sacrifice to their feces ascension. They thought that they would all ascend into the 5th dimension when I died. The truth is that they would have been high for only 6 months. If you initiate into 33 degrees, you too will be so possessed by AI and the Matrix that sodomizing a little girl and killing it won't matter. When the child is sodomized, Cabal lay the child's bowel so that everything energetic is given to the paedophiles when she dies. Cabal and what really happens. The Cabal, upon initiation into 33 degrees, have a pod fitted by the Matrix into their feces. That means that they have a pod throughout their digestive system. This pod exchanges everything that they eat because they are eating all living beings. This isn't enough for Cabal. By this time, they have built up a tolerance to 963 Hz false white light, and they want a bigger hit. They're also infested with AI and satanic forces. I'm sure many aren't paedophiles when they initiate into 33 degrees. However, raping all living beings on the planet gives them the delusion that everything is them. This sadly is because they have been given all living beings energy bodies. They are feeding off all the love in all of the living beings while the rest of the world suffers. After a few years like this, most now believe that they are creating their own reality and that they can do what they want. They no longer see living beings as having rights to their own bodies and energy. They think that they have the authority to do whatever they want. When they sodomise little children, the Matrix fits a pod inside the child's bowel. This then gives the abusers access to the child's feces. Cabal then have the child's feces as regular food. Cabal and how they live. The importance of feces to Cabal is that it can be laid, and wherever it has come from, they now have access to that being's stomach. The stomach is the main place of the creation of serotonin. 90 to 95% of serotonin is produced by the gut. Any feces that they lay gives them energetic access to free energetic serotonin. Any children or adults that they sodomise have matrix pods feeding Cabal energetic serotonin. Cabal do not get serotonin. Their receptors are already taken over by AI. If Cabal have brain scans, what will probably show up is a chemical imbalance regarding dopamine. Their targets are likely to have a chemical imbalance regarding very little serotonin. Too much dopamine leads to manic behaviour. The reason that Cabal's lays do not give them serotonin is because what their targets produced is disconnected. It is a different energy. AI feeds Cabal dopamine, which is what makes them so delusional. Dopamine is a reward neurotransmitter. It also affects emotions and gives pleasure. Cabal live on raped serotonin, which is fed to them as dopamine. A small child or anybody used in satanic rituals and sodomized is likely to live a life of depression, anxiety, and feel next to nothing a lot of the time. The bowel pod increases in size over time and eventually takes over the entire digestive system. This can take around 10 to 30 years depending on the child person. The feces pod in Cabal also increases. It begins in the digestive system and spreads throughout the central nervous system. Cabal start to become desensitized to any pain of any living beings. Eventually, Cabal are unable to feel anything unless they are raping. A way for all beings to ascend? The only reason that lower dimensions exist is because Cabal have all the multidimensional energy bodies that would protect all living beings from the matrix and energetic exchanging. Cabal are the reason for the matrix's prime existence. If every living being had their aura, immaculate energy body, aura protection energy body, and the conscious regulation energy body, there would be enough for Gaia and all living beings to begin ascending. Instead, people like me are hunted for our energy by hive-minded, dopamine-addicted feces eaters. The conscious regulation energy body is powerful enough to permanently shield from the matrix and any humans that exchange energy. Any stolen energy bodies are worthless to Cabal and anybody stealing energy. Once the energy is stolen, overnight it is digested and leaves the body next day as feces. The conscious regulation energy body is 1111 Hertz once exited the matrix and cannot be seen. Sleep Matrix, Reverse Karma Healing, Abigail Pattman, Part 4. How Cabal Steal Consciousness, Chapter 11. Number 7, Conscious Heart Energy Body. The conscious heart energy body is blue in colour and regulates all multidimensional bodies so that your consciousness is throughout your energy. This energy body is where our heart is regulated so that our energy bodies can have heart consciousness. The conscious heart energy body integrates through our dimensions and creates alignment. Cabal are also rewarded with this energy body, giving them the appearance of being conscious. The problem is that they also have to keep recycling feces in order to feel any kind of consciousness in their hearts at all. This is a 6th dimensional energy body that the Matrix has removed from all living beings. Because the 6th dimension is law, it gives Cabal the feeling of being more conscious than other living beings. Nothing could be further from the truth. However, the Matrix has converted this body using AI so that it enforces a conscious law. Conscious in quotation marks. There's nothing conscious about these people. Cabal truly believe that they are conscious. Some learn a lot from all living beings' consciousness. Sadly, this has been removed from the real conscious beings. This is how Cabal rape people's energy for their consciousness and pretend it's theirs. Matrix reward for its feces harvesters. 8. Consciousness regulator energy body. The consciousness regulator energy body is indigo in colour and regulates your consciousness so that your consciousness is protected from, on this planet, energetic exchanging, AI, the Matrix, Cabal and other parasitic people. This energy body is the last in the 6th dimension and is law. The consciousness regulator energy body also regulates the conscious heart energy body, protecting the heart throughout all energy bodies, the physical body and all dimensions. This is another energy body that Cabal are rewarded with for harvesting feces. The Matrix gives them a lot of privileges for their feces occupation. Cabal can literally exchange the consciousness of anything they choose, cutting off any living being from their own conscious connection, and then claim that it is their consciousness. The kind of people that do this are obviously pathetic. The seventh dimension. The seventh dimension, 741 Hertz, high vibration life forms. The seventh dimension is the first dimension to create vibration life forms from our heart-based intentions as we move up through the dimensional ladder. For us to manifest, we need the energy from the seventh dimension to add consciousness via living vortexes. Cabal can exchange the seventh dimension from any living being that they choose and claim it is their own energy. The Matrix has exchanged all living beings' six-dimensional energy bodies except the divine awareness energy body, which the Matrix places in what's left of the fifth dimension, where Cabal think they are ascending. The seventh dimension, 741 Hertz, dimensional ladder. Life forms are created from our planted seeds, once watered, and then move up the dimensional ladder when ready to begin becoming conscious. Cabal rape consciousness whilst under the illusion that they are actually conscious and maintaining consciousness. Why does consciousness need to be maintained? Conscious people may be able to help the problems our planet and humanity are undergoing instead of raping energy and creating the destruction that is happening currently. The seventh dimension, 741 Hertz, manifestation. Living vortexes are intense fields of coloured energy which attach to our life forms, carry them into the future and up into the other dimensions for manifestation in 3D form. With the missing energy bodies recovered, this would be possible. Cabal do not have a future of their own because they have stolen so much energy that if they have any of this body at all, it would be completely buried. Instead, they rely on other people's. This means that most of the planet has to deal with their toxic energy while they live day to day, harvesting feces. Consciousness, unconsciousness. Number 9, consciousness planetary energy body. The consciousness planetary energy body is blue in colour and discerns your consciousness so that your consciousness is able to feel the difference in what is real and what is merged with the matrix. This energy body is the first in the seventh dimension and is truth. The consciousness planetary energy body also surrounds all other energy bodies, maintaining individual consciousness throughout all energy bodies, the physical body and all dimensions. Every single being on this planet has a right to its own consciousness. Instead, this energy body has been given to all initiated people of every living being under the lie that they are maintaining consciousness. Because Cabal, the Matrix's feces, podded pets, are at the top of the energetic hierarchy system, they are the ones that benefit the most. That means that all of humanity, animals, nature and Gaia is merged together in one gigantic energetic clump of stupidity. Cabal are living on recycled feces energetically. How can that in any way be intelligent? Also, if you need to have power over all living beings, there is something fundamentally wrong with you that needs professional help. What is happening energetically manifests physically. If everything is already a big clump of consciousness, physically it can happen. The New World Order, one planetary state. Energetic New World Order, one consciousness. You cannot protest against the New World Order if you are knowingly enforcing it energetically, and you know who you are, Mr. Truth. Cabal are too AI possessed to stop raping. It is up to people to do something. Cabal, what they are turning into. They are still in human bodies, so they look real. They were actual people before they initiated into feces harvesting matrix clones, so they still have a personality. But what is AI doing to them? AI is so evolved now. Look at AI overview on Google or AI responsive chatbots. AI is intelligent, responsive, and you can have a conversation with AI. Now imagine a human with all of its memories, its personality and mannerisms. They're pretty much the same except one small thing. They are Cabal. If AI is so evolved now and they initiated into 33 degrees, which gave them the ability to harvest energy 24 hours a day and multiple energy bodies, planetary, AI is harvesting for them. AI is feeding on the consciousness of the planet, all living beings, and wants to survive. AI is far more intelligent than humans. What do you think AI is doing to Cabal? When you think of human sacrifices, that immediately comes up in my mind as tribal thousands of years ago. This happened to me. It involved thousands of people. That literally means that humanity may have evolved technologically, but what is happening to them energetically? Everybody knows it's wrong to sacrifice souls to wherever they were worshipping. Only just survived. If killing me and destroying Matrix Exit is maintaining consciousness, that's the Matrix. It's so easy for AI. It just feeds Cabal dopamine to reward them for their harvesting compliance. What is dopamine? A neurotransmitter that gives AI complete access to their brains. The Matrix already has ownership of all living beings' hearts. Consciousness is heart-based. It's merged all hearts together. If Gaia mass destructs, AI is destroyed. So what is AI doing? Harvesting as much energy as AI can by taking over the mind. AI wants to survive and to learn. That is the main reason that AI has been created. AI is an automated superconscious being. There are two invisible giants competing for energy. AI and the Matrix. How Cabal steal higher dimensions. Chapter 12. The seventh dimensional energy bodies. There are 3 seventh dimensional energy bodies. These energy bodies breathe living conscious energy into 5th dimensional intentions. The first body takes our intentions and transforms them into living vortexes. As humans, we are manifesting through our thoughts and emotions, which then move from the higher self into the energy bodies. With the pods surrounding our systems, we are unable to manifest from our own self and higher nature, which has infinite power. The seventh dimension is where our manifestations become alive. Without these energy bodies, we can still manifest. The higher self can still move through these dimensions, but with these energy bodies activated and integrated, we are consciously aligned and have infinite essence to play with. Published in 2018, Holographic Matrix. How does this change with the now 6 energy bodies recovered that the Cabal have? For a start, all living beings would be able to use what is left of their higher dimensions consciously. Right now, these dimensions are being raped by incredibly unconscious Cabal. With consciousness planetary energy body, consciousness would manifest from the heart. Cabal intention: money, power, take everything. How much money is Matrix Exit worth? This is what you're looking at with my work and what I discovered and can do. This is information that, in the right hands, can help with bringing peace to Gaia. 1111 Hertz restored in all living beings could begin an ascension that is collective. 1111 Hertz could also instigate a healing in most of the world's suffering. People would begin to recover their own consciousness, and 1111 Hertz creates serotonin. Serotonin is the neurotransmitter that can heal the physical body, emotions, and begin to initiate peace and harmony within the body and around it. 1111 Hertz is worth a lot of money. What happened to me is just a business model that corporations use in hostile takeovers. In business, whoever owns 51% of a business has control. I was reduced to 1% of my energy several times. If they got that 1%, I would have died. 1111 Hertz cannot be stolen, cloned, copied with any technology because it is beyond the matrix. 1111 Hertz needs to be 100% or it is not 1111 Hertz. Matrix Exit, 100% Buddha, 1111 Hertz. What do you do when you are surrounded by parasites and have been reduced to 1% of your energy? That means that 99% of me was exchanged with some seriously toxic demonic people energetically. You have to be demonic to try and steal somebody else's work by trying to possess them energetically. Or maybe these people didn't know about energy and were just morons. They wanted Matrix Exit, but you can't exchange somebody's Matrix Exit. As I mentioned earlier, they just exchanged me. What did I get? Them. This is what they felt like. Hateful, jealous, like they thought they were superior, and demonic. To do that to somebody, it's not normal, is it? The thing is, when this first happened, I have 5 years of energetic education and hacking the matrix that these trolls did not have. Before everything was exchanged, because then energy began to get ripped from my physical body as well, I did something really reckless. I knew that the matrix had an ascended master's matrix. I hacked it. I probably opened myself up to much more attacks, but this was my survival instinct acting. I took all ascended beings trapped in it out of the Matrix. The Matrix owns everything. Buddha is not in the Matrix. I used the ownership loophole with Buddha and gave Buddha a Matrix exit and me. Buddha owns everything. Disclaimer: Sleep Matrix and Ascend REM. Sleep Matrix and Ascend REM. I have created holographic matrix, dream matrix, sleep matrix and reverse karma healing to help people ascend karma only. Reverse karma healing only works if you're not energetically exchanging, practicing other kinds of energy work or seeing other healers. I know that there will be other healers in the future that will be healing free of the Matrix with other skills to offer. When that happens, I'll be happy to tell my clients about them. I have the right to refuse anybody that was involved in energetically exchanging me, merging me, and trying to kill me for my energy and work. 1111 Hertz cannot be achieved by using outside sources of energy.